Hello and welcome to our review of Half Life Alyx. We'll give you the lowdown on everything you need to know before you play, but before we do, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell to make sure you don't miss a single video. Finally, they've finally done it. Sort of. Yes, after 13 long years, a new Half-Life game is here. Okay, maybe it's not Half-Life 3, but Half-Life Alyx is still something worth getting excited about. A prequel, taking place between the original Half-Life and Half-Life 2, you play as series icon Alyx Vance, on a mission to save your father Eli and, while you're at it, potentially steal a super weapon right from under the noses of the evil invading Combine. Half-Life Alyx is exclusively available in VR, with Valve using it as a unit pusher for their latest Index headset. The decision to make the game VR only was a controversial one, given the necessary tech is still pretty expensive, not to mention you need a fair amount of space to play in to get the full experience. Will the gamble pay off, or will it prove more painful than a night in Ravenholm? Watch on to find out. Firstly, and probably most importantly, the VR elements work very, very well. In fact, as good, if not better than any home VR experience I can recall to date. Half-Life has always been as much a puzzle game as a first-person shooter, and the addition of VR ramps this up to a whole other level of immersion. The new gravity gloves make everything more tangible, allowing you to interact with almost anything not nailed down. From finding your way through to the next part of the world to aimlessly pilfering through junk, it all feels real and so satisfying. And this added immersion also makes certain moments genuinely frightening. Barnacles were once just an annoyance to avoid, but now I actively run from them lest I have that horrible chomping maw drag me in. And headcrabs have never made me jump quite as much as this. They are horrible. I want nothing to do with them. Blech. I can also confirm that it is indeed a full game, quashing any rumours of it being a throwaway spin-off or a tech demo. It's the quintessential Half-Life experience, taking place throughout and underneath the familiar setting of City 17. Now, compared to previous games in the series, you only have a limited arsenal of weapons, and reloading is a far more manual process in VR. But all this adds to the sense of tension as you fight against seemingly insurmountable odds. And just a quick note on the story, make sure you're up to speed on what happened in the previous games. Without spoiling anything, I'll reiterate that this isn't a throwaway spin-off, and the plot of Half-Life Alyx has major ramifications for the wider narrative. And be sure to keep watching until after the credits for what is one of the most jaw-dropping scenes I can remember seeing in a video game. It's also just nice to see the world of Half-Life with current-gen visuals. Graphics never make or break a game, but when you remember how groundbreaking they were in Half-Life 2, it's good to have that feeling of realism once again. Now, as you can probably already tell, I am a massive fan of Half-Life Alyx, but I also happen to be an ethical journalist, and as such, I feel duty-bound to address the elephant in the room. There's no getting away from the limitations of VR. It does offer you different ways to play, ranging from fully standing in a wide open room to experiencing everything stationary and seated. But herein lies the problem. Alas, I had to choose the latter, and while I still had a blast playing, I couldn't shake the feeling that I just wasn't getting the optimal package. But honestly, this is more of a critique of the technology rather than the game itself, and it's great to see the likes of Valve pushing what VR can do. To wrap up, Half-Life Alyx is a triumphant return for the franchise, and demonstrates the team at Valve still have it in them to make a great single-player experience. VR may still be a novelty to some, but Half-Life Alyx highlights how, when used effectively, it's a powerful, powerful tool. Now come on, release Half-Life 3, you cowards! But what was your opinion on Half-Life Alyx? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more great videos every single week.